Good morning, partners. How are you today? Today, together with my colleagues, we're going to talk about an essentially important element in the life of most of us, our families. Our presentation is organized in four moments. The first three will be of explanatory character, and the last one will be of preparative character, in which you will help us to carry out a small activity. Okay, here we go, Juan.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about my father's history. I hope you enjoy it. These stories begin in January 28 in 1989. In 1989, my father, Johnson Agredo, joined the police force at the age of 19 years and retired 28 years later. In August 1st of 1992, he beginning of his career. Everything began in the Rafael Reyes School in Santa Rosa de Viterbo, Boyacá, where he obtained the rank of agent in the same year. Then in 1992, after meeting a series of requirements and passing a competition, he entered the sub-officers school Gonzalo Jiménez de Quesada in the same year. Then, in December 2 of 1993, beginning of the war against Pablo Escobar. At that time, every policeman had a price on his head, where Pablo Escobar encouraged the murder of policemen, and the higher the rank, the higher the reward, award that lasted until December 2 in 1993. In 1998, war against the FARC. After a few months of calm, a war was unleashed against the FARC, which resulted in a large number of subversive attacks on towns, kidnappings of policemen, merchants, and the murder of hostages, ending with one of the most violent takeovers, as was the takeover of Me Too. In 2003, beginning of the Colombian self-defense groups, although initially created to combat the guerrillas, they have become another group of murderers and drug traffickers who dispute territories, displace peasants, and extort money from the population. In 2004, the reestablishment of state presence in neglected municipalities under the government of President Álvaro Uribe, the presence of the state and its armed forces was reestablished in municipalities where it had not existed for many years. In 2007, the construction of stations in municipalities where there were none. It is the responsibility of the station commanders to take the necessary steps to obtain resources to finance the projects, and they must turn to the government. In 2012, represents the police at international events. Thanks to his command of English, he was able to represent the police at events such as the Summit of the Americas, the Sub-20 Soccer World Cup, and the Field Hockey World Cup. The last event is in June 19 in 2016. Withdrawal from the institution. On July 19 on 2016, he retired from the institution at his own will, reaching the highest rank with 375 commendations, 17 condecorations, 2 commissions abroad, and a pension, concluding 28 years of service to the country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Juan. Just as in our country, in many other places in the world, families get together to share special moments. Now we're going to talk about and going to explain some of the most important and famous celebrations that take place in different cultures. Well, the first is the Chinese New Year. Um, the Chinese New Year is considered the most important holiday in the Chinese calendar and is also known as a spring festival. The celebrations begin on the first day of the first lunar month and end on the 15th day, when the Lantern Festival is celebrated. It's traditional for millions of people in China to travel all over the country before the new year to spend time with family, share delicious dishes, and enjoy the best weather of the year, according to the Chinese dinosaurs. Finally, we can say that it is the most important celebrations for the inhabitants of the Asian nation. But this year, it will be marked by the coronavirus pandemic. Juan Jose is going to explain another part of this work.
Thank you. Thank you, Manuel. The Christmas. Christmas is a religious holiday that seeks to commemorate the birthday of the prophets of various religions. In the case of Christianity, it commemorates the birth of Jesus. This celebration is commemorated on December 25, even though normally in a country like Colombia, the head of the holiday is also celebrated of December 24. In this celebration it is also customary for the whole family to get together, because on this date we also celebrate the union and love that should exist in a family like the one Jesus had.
Thank you, Juan Jose. And in the final part of our work, we can say that the more important time in our lives is with our families. Okay, comrades, it's time for the questions. Now, it's your turn. My partner Juan Jose and me are going to talk about these little questions, and you have to ask these. Start, Juan Jose.
Okay, the first question is, which holiday do you like the most and why?
The second question is, with which family member do you have the most special bond?
The third question is, in what ways can you share with your family other than the traditional ones you know?
The fourth question is, why do you believe that having a good relationship with your family is important?
The fifth question is, are you happy with your family and why?
The sixth question is, what is the holiday you enjoy most with your family?
The seventh question is, do you think there are families different for you? Give an example, please.
The eighth question is, who makes up your family?
The ninth question is, do any of your family members live far away? How do you celebrate special dates with them?
And the last question is, with which members of your family do you spend important holidays? Thank you, partners. That's the end. I hope that you enjoy our presentation and our blog. Thank you. Goodbye.